Ayo,
Woo!
ayo.
Happy Friday,
Woo.
one and all.
Starting
Uh,
off with gunfire. How about that?
coming in hot, coming in real
Yeah,
hot on a Friday.
yeah.
I mean, we were talking about it before the show. In some respect, well, it's hard to say a light Friday because there are big events going on with the NBA
Yeah.
Finals, a pay-per-view in UFC, two
Mm-hmm.
international soccer tournament finals. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as just random, the weird stuff that we usually like to gravitate towards, not a
Well,
whole bunch. Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, there is one especially weird thing that
there's
we will be
one.
talking
There's
about.
one. Yeah.
But other than that, thank you for joining us. Hit us in the comments.
Mm,
Hit us at the
mm.
link. Please believe that. It is active. Call in. Bring those hot fire takes in. But Tyler, how are you doing on this Friday?
Doing good, man. Glad it's Friday. Feeling a bit tired, but definitely looking forward to the weekend. Like you said, you can't really call it a slow day, but it just was kind of weird slow. But there's a lot of good stuff this weekend to look forward to. Also, I did want to give a massive shout out and say a happy birthday to major fan of the show. He never misses the show. Happy birthday, Tom Hanks. I know you're watching.
Yeah,
Huge
shout
fan
out
of the
Tom.
show.
Shout out Tom.
But
Uh,
yeah, he never misses us. He's probably watching live. Tom, call in. Link's open, bro. Call
Call
in.
in.
Come on.
Hit the link. Hit the link. There's still time. Maybe one of you guys tweet him. Tweet him the link in case
But
he doesn't have today's link.
right. But or maybe his son Chet Hanks can call in if he wants
Yeah,
to. That'd be
we'll
entertaining.
settle for Chet. Come on,
Chet
call in
Hanks
Chet.
who will just randomly speak with a Jamaican accent for no reason. It'll be fun. But Ron, how you doing today?
Doing well. Also a little tired. I think. Especially, and again, I can't go too hard on this because Bakersfield. But I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there.
It's all look. It's all comparable. It's fine. It's fine.
It has finally warmed up. So again, by San Diego standards, we're talking like mid 80s, low 90s, maybe. But
sure,
all the houses here do not have any kind of air conditioning. So when you live in a house that was built in like 1925, like me, all right, we got a little bit of a circulation problem. But so it was a little warm working, as you know, out of the home. I thank you, Bank of America, very gracious with unlimited air conditioning.
Yeah, so you're leaving, 90-degree high and coming into probably 110 plus tomorrow. So that's a good call on your part.
Hey, we're not going to get there, maybe till like 9 or 10. So it's probably only going to be like
9 or 10 at night. 9 or 10 at night. Yeah. We might be down below triple digits by then. Maybe.
So it could be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Bring your sweaters.
Nick, I've created a monster of him being obsessed with John Sterling. Oh, that Ron hit a bomb. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Goodness gracious, John. Roger Clemens and Jonas blocks. Oh, Susie Waldman. But let's get right into it. Tyler and I both didn't see a whole ton of it because we were watching different things. But I saw bits and pieces of it. It seemed like the Suns were just pulling away, where the Bucks were just not going to be capable of closing the gap. So they go down 2-0. Like they say, all you can do in this standpoint is like, hey, we haven't, all we got to do is just try to take back home court. We got to defend our home court and then get one on the road. First 2 games were in Phoenix. Also, shout out to a friend of the program, Jordan, doing some different remotes and stuff outside of the arena there in Phoenix, where he's living now. But it's still going to be like, can you hold serve at home? I'm not just saying the Bucks are totally dead yet, but Suns look really good in the first 2 games, so they did what they had to do.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of looking at again. I was watching Black Widow last night, so I didn't see the game. Just kind of like read about it, saw a few highlights, things here and there. I mean, look, you can look at the box score. Giannis balled out. He showed up. I think he finished with like 42 points. But Holiday and just like game 1, Holiday and Middleton just kind of they need a lot more. They need a lot more from those guys. And I've said it on here multiple times. Is Middleton, he'll get you those games of 30, 40 points, or he'll get you games of kind of nothing. So got to take the good with the bad and hope the good shows up.
Yeah, which is also weird considering, we didn't know what kind of Giannis we were going to see coming into this after his knee injury. He's looked pretty. He seems to be fine, shall we say. I don't know if they shot him up with whatever Chris Paul shoulder stem cells, horse steroids, whatever it is. But
actually, here's a picture of Giannis after they shot him up with whatever it is.
Yeah, he's good to go. This guy's ready to get up and down the court. Also inclined to agree with the Baron there, because the Bucks, you get 16 points going into halftime. In a quarter, 16 is not going to – usually not going to get you there. And you look at all the other, quarters, they outscored them in two other ones. I mean, only by a couple points, but held serve with them in the fourth. But, that puts you in a big hole there. And, it's just like kind of like the soccer thing, goals right before or right after halftime. It's a big momentum thing. So coming out chasing that deficit, it puts you in a bad spot. We'll see how they look at home, but again, I'm not really biased one way or the other as to who wins this. We are going to have some new blood in there, but definitely an uphill struggle right now. Just staring down an 0-2 deficit for the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious to see what's going to happen, when they go back home. I mean, like, you can look at yesterday and you can say, 108 for the Bucks. That's, a decent enough score. You think it would win at most games. 118 is definitely going to lose it for you. The Suns were also 20 of 40 from three. Like, you can't expect something like that to happen again, probably. So if you kind of take out just Phoenix just kind of shooting out of their mind from behind the arc, like, maybe not that bad a performance for the Bucks. Again, I don't know. I wasn't watching it live, so I'm just kind of speaking off what I can see from the stats. But they definitely – I still kind of believe that Game 2 is must-win for them, but Game 3 is absolutely like you cannot lose Game 3. If you lose Game 3, it is over.
Beyond the point of no return. Whereas if you win that Game 3, you're like, hey, they're right back in this almost, Like they got another home game. They're looking okay. So – especially you just don't want to be the first team to lose a home game in this scenario. But looks like two pretty well-matched teams, considering that Giannis is apparently just as healthy as anyone could have expected, and and more than I expected, honestly, because it was insane. I thought for sure there was some serious problems with his knee, and I'm sure it doesn't feel great, but he's trying to win the finals, so. A lot of ice and elevation or whatever after these games, especially if you're going out putting up 40. But the Bucks do need, especially Holiday and Middleton, to give them a little bit more. Also, I do appreciate the phrase "your local adult ballet."
I mean, look, it's obviously Milwaukee's going to come with everything they've got on what.
Give me all you got.
Give me all you got. Yeah, definitely Al Pacino's out there giving the pregame speech to him. So,
but if they don't, when they get back to Phoenix, she'll be rising. Sorry, that was just a rare opportunity for a double Heat tie-in.
And then I kind of want to watch Heat tonight.
Do I have 5 hours to set aside?
I just don't know if I'll just pull up. I'll just pull up Al Pacino's best lines, which is basically every line he says in that movie.
That's enough. Yeah, I can live off of that, for every 2 or 3 years before I actually have to commit to just watching it again, because I do like that movie. But if you go through there, look up some, like the Downtown Shootout, the Al Pacino montage, you're like, okay, all right, satiated.
For sure.
Moving on from that, we do have two big finals in the soccer universe. I believe Justin said he is going to, obviously we see him in the comments, but a little bit, under the weather or just not up to speed. Hey, both of us are pretty tired here too, so I can sympathize. So we do not have the soccer historian tonight, but definitely a historic matchup. Anyone would have to say Brazil is the heavy favorite. I don't have the line pulled up in front of me. sentimentally, I would love to see Messi get one of these, but all signs point to Brazil for me. They've looked better in this tournament. It's in Brazil. Not really like a home field advantage because there's no fans, but yeah, I don't know. I was rooting again thanks to my bank connections. Yeah, I was rooting for Colombia in the last game, but really bad penalty shootout, and brings us to now. And it's
Did,
always go ahead. I'm sorry.
did you happen to watch the third place game before we went on air?
I saw the beginning before I came out here to set up, and the Baron was texting me saying it was going off the rails.
It was pretty insane, and Colombia wound up winning 3-2 with a goal in like the 94th minute.
Oh, I did see there was a goal. In the stoppage time.
Yeah.
Well, and I hope usually for these tournaments, World Cup, Euro, Copa America, they will have the third place team come back out, for the medal ceremony after the final.
Right.
In this case, I would say just give them the bronze, the third place medals. Like nobody needs to be staying not in their home in South America right now. Just
right.
maybe we make an exception this year.
Yeah, they've already been in Brazil for probably like a month. Like you can just let them go a day early. It's fine. It's okay.
And yeah, a tournament that has been definitely plagued by a lot of COVID issues, shall we say. And actually, on that note, before we get, so that's Saturday.
Tomorrow night.
Back-to-back days. And still, I mean, Brazil, again, I don't have the line in front of me. They're obviously going to be the favorite. But Argentina, Brazil getting together in a final, always something you want to watch. I'll definitely tune in if I can. I don't foresee being able to see all of it, due to travel, but I'll try to follow as best I can. On that note of major sporting events, though, being affected by COVID, the Olympics, which they are still moving forward with, but
Still gonna do it.
Yesterday they announced that at first it went from no spectators to local fans only. No, we don't want people just traveling from all over the world, and now it's back to no fans.
Yeah, I mean, a bit unfortunate. Like, look, selfishly, I'm still happy that the Olympics will still be able to go on. I was kind of looking forward to having fans there, although, and again, I don't know what the rules would have been because I know, like, my only point of reference would be New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, they've been allowing fans into their events, but they can't cheer. They can applaud, but they can't like vocally cheer. I don't know if that would have been the same rules in effect for the Olympics. That would have been kind of weird. It's just like polite applause when like some world record gets broken. So I don't know how that would have worked out, but it still a little disappointing there won't be fans there. But again, selfishly, I am happy the Olympics are still going on.
Yeah, I mean, and plus the drought of missing it for 1 year. I mean, as you know, we both love the Olympics. Who doesn't like the Olympics if you're a sports fan? And before this new development from yesterday, it was going to be, limited capacity, only local fans allowed in. So it wasn't going to be like packed out, some of the crazier crowds that you've seen in Olympic history for sure. But now they are going back to no fans at all, just trying to get through with the event since it's already been pushed off for a year. Probably it's definitely going to affect like the aesthetic of watching it on TV, but I'm just glad it's going on, and I think this is probably the right choice. Like if they really want to try to do this year and only miss a year, it's the only way they can really do it.
Yeah, I mean, like at this point in time, it's been very clear like they were going to do this Olympics. Like if it kills everybody, they're going to do it. So I guess they're just willing to say, hey, fine, no, like if we're gonna do this, whether people are there to watch it or not, we're gonna do this. So yeah, I mean, there was no way they were gonna push it back again. Like if they didn't do it this year, they were just gonna have to cancel it outright, and I don't think anybody wanted to do that. So there we go.
Soccer historian also with the line there, plus 275 for Argentina. So not, like mega underdogs, but certainly underdogs. Yeah,
wait.
No, they always do this in soccer, and I believe even in the final, I think the draw means in regulation time.
Okay, I was about to ask, like, wait, how is there a draw if it's a tournament final?
No, even in the like round of 16 or whatever, there's always a draw line, and I believe the
Right,
way it works is just at the end of regulation, like
regulation, gotcha.
going to extra time or penalties. And also shout out to Otani-san getting number 33.
There we
Quite, I
go.
was telling the Baron the other day. Look, I'm not an Angel fan by any means, but I do want to see just 1 year of this guy. Like, let him go all the way doing both, just to see. Like, it'll
Hmm.
be one of the most freakish stat lines ever. I
Oh,
think he's got
100%, man.
12 or 13 stolen bases, not to mention the 33 home runs, and I think he struck out like 80 or 90 batters already. So,
Yeah,
uh,
something like that.
could be just one of those very odd, like probably no one's ever going to do it again stat lines. Which baseball's the ultimate stat game, so I do want to see what happens with that.
Well, I mean, like the only comparison we have to this, like the stats he's putting up, is Babe Ruth. Like that's like if that is your comparison point, that kind of gives you an idea of like what kind of history you're seeing.
Yeah, and Babe Ruth kind of
He
was
stopped
definitely,
pitching after like 5 years.
yeah, he was good at both, but kind of in two different phases of his career, which I mean, ultimately, I kind of foresee happening for Otani as well. I know
Totally.
part of the deal for the Angels to get him because he was in that like transfer portal thing, and he could basically pick the team that he wanted to go to. Was that he wanted to do both, but in the long run, just for being sustainable, I think he's going to have to kind of settle into one or the other, and maybe dabble. I would assume hitting because the value you get from that. But he can.
Well, what if they move him to middle reliever or closer?
I would like that. Yeah, he comes in, he's DHing, and then he comes in and closes the game.
No,
Or
middle reliever. He's our seventh inning guy.
yeah, he's a setup guy.
Hey, Joe Madden would pull some stupid shit like that. I will just say, if there's any manager I would see doing that, it would be Joe Madden.
I mean, he's down to get weird for sure. He is down to get weird. Oh, and we have a clarification here from the soccer historian. The effects when you bet the draw, no bet wagers, draw at the end of regulation is basically a push. So in that case, I don't know why it's even an option then.
And then why would draw even be an option? Yeah.
Uh, on to the other uh, big soccer final of the weekend on Sunday, Italy and England, and where we can finally see once and for all, is it coming home?
Yeah, look, this is the big. I mean, this is the big game. This is, when you look at the brackets, you kind of saw like, look, Italy definitely had the tougher, really the whole tournament, the tougher path. England was just kind of like, okay, like if they can beat Germany, like it's set up for them to go all the way. And again, Germany wasn't very good this year. England handled their business. So yeah, this is, I probably would have seen France over England I think I did predict France when the tournament started. Um, but then, like, once I saw Italy play, I was like, okay, actually, I think this team is really good. They're going to go through. They've proven that. I think I said it the other day, like, just because of how defensive minded both teams are, like they definitely have the athletes to score on counters and to score goals. But I think they're so defensive minded, like this is going to be World War I trench warfare of just like two teams dug in, not giving an inch. Like first team that scores a goal is going to win. Like this could be a 1-0 just boring slog, just with how strong defense both these teams play.
Well, and these kind of games, yeah, I would agree with that. But you're always, just holding out hope. Like, ooh, maybe we get that goal in like the first 15 minutes, and then it gets a little weird.
Gets a little weird, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be kind of close to the vest for both teams at the beginning. Like the feeling out stage might have a boring first 20, 30 minutes. Um, Guys start to get a little bit more settled into the game, or certain people get tired. Maybe who knows if anyone gets hurt. Uh, Maybe some action there at the beginning of the first half. I could definitely see this going to penalties, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be played at home, but it's not
True.
necessarily guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that it's coming home. So hang on to your butts, when this gets going. I feel it's going to be very entertaining to see, though. And I did see, I think it was like The Guardian or some English newspaper posted there is at least one guy that was at the final in 1966 that is also going to this game tomorrow or Sunday. So, hey, good luck to both sides. I like both teams. England, I will say in their defense, they have looked better since that Germany game. It seemed like they kind of like, all right, now we actually have to sort of activate a little bit. But Italy throughout has been more consistent as far as their performances. So we'll see. But I think, talent-wise, equal footing.
Yeah, like that is kind of a weird situation. I think where it's like, in the knockout stage, I do think maybe England has looked better, but again, I also think they've had the easier competition. Like they weren't tested until they got to Denmark. Denmark punched them in the mouth, and England responded. So I mean, absolute credit to them. I definitely Italy's a little bit more battle tested, but also I don't know if Italy actually trailed at any point in this tournament. I know they've given up 2 or 3 goals, but I don't think they've ever actually trailed.
Yeah, I don't think they've been playing from behind at all.
And I am curious, like if Harry Kane or Raheem Sterling gets like an early goal, like, okay, what's Italy going to do now?
Yeah, I would still give them the benefit of the doubt because of how they played consistently throughout.
Sure.
Also, kind of to what you were saying about England, especially at the beginning, it really just had the feel of like they just know they got to get through this group, probably beat like a tough Germany or France, and then if you survive that game, you're getting back in the semifinals and finals going to be at Wembley. So it seemed like they kind of played it that way. Whereas Italy, yes, they did have the 3 home games to start, but they played really good in those. They didn't just like dog it like, oh, we're at home, it's going to be, we just show up and win. So it'd be interesting for sure to see how these two teams show up, and that is noon Sunday. So definitely tune in. I think it's gonna be on ABC, or it says ESPN, but I feel like for the final they'll probably get that on ABC. Is there an NBA Finals game? Not at that time.
Not at that time. Yeah, they'll put that on at night. So, I imagine it'll probably be on ABC, but who knows? Check your local listings. But I think if I did have to make a prediction for entertainment purposes only, I will go Italy 1-0.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. It's coming home. It's coming home.
Oh, he's saying it's coming home.
I'm saying it's coming home.
There we go.
England is gonna win. 2-1. 2-1.
2-1. I like it. It.
Maybe penalties, so maybe 1-1, and then they win in penalties. I don't know, but sure. And also England in penalties with the prospect of it coming home.
Oh boy!
Ask me when they get there, because I'd be like, these fools look nervous. No, it's not coming home. It's not coming home.
if it goes to penalties, I recant the bet.
It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. So it's not guaranteed.
Thank you. Well said. Well said.
Oh, there we go. Justin coming through with the tip-off time for the NBA Finals.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I still think that will be on ABC, but most people out there do have ESPN as well, and as always, there are ways.
There are ways. Please believe that.
Don't really have a lot on the golf action this weekend. We have the John Deere Classic and the Scottish Open, where some of the bigger names are actually going over there. I don't know, maybe a little bit more money. I know Rahm and Rory and their pairing. Was this early this morning or the first day?
It was this morning when I saw the video, so I'm assuming that's when it was.
I think it was this morning, but
it would have blown up the internet yesterday if it happened yesterday. So,
yeah, the highlight of the golf weekend so far has definitely been this insane scenario. I mean, fans shouldn't be running on the field or really getting interacting, with players, but this one was just weird because it seemed like no one was ever actually in danger. And it was just very weird. The guy never did anything. Just watch.
Hey, Mark. Koski. Where's Mark? Mark, come here. You get some security. Come on.
T10. You need security up on the T.
He's coming right here.
That's very kind. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for your help.
Here.
Give out there.
And then he was led away by the backpack security guards of
That's very kind. Thank you very much.
the Scottish Open. A lot to unpack there, though. He never said anything. He looked like he was going up there to just hit the head cover off the ground. I think both Rahm and Rory were just kind of like too stunned at first to really realize what's going on. I will say this, though, Rory, I'll caddy for you, dude, because your guy should have stepped up. The only person that put that fire out was Rahm's caddy, going to get the, like I said, backpack security man. And also, he still tried to hang on to the head cover at the end. They're like, no. Set it down, lad. Set it down.
Like, I'm glad that this guy like wasn't seemingly too crazy. Like, didn't do anything. Just kind of wanted to make an ass out of himself. I guess I don't know how you want to put it, but I will say, like, we just came off of a year of not being able to go to any sports. Like, can we fucking not with this? Like, can we fucking not?
Probably stay off the field,
like,
or court or
like,
whatever.
Like we've had fans at NBA games spit at players, throw shit at players. We had in the England game, Schmeichel got a laser pointer like pointed into his eye from somebody in the crowd. At an AEW show recently, some guy like tried to jump into the ring to fight Chris Jericho and MJF. Now, again, fortunately, this guy was just like, I'm just gonna walk up there, grab his club, and like act like I'm gonna tee off. Like, seriously, can we just not with this? Like, we can't even get a year of like normal sports shit. Come on.
And yes, I do agree, Justin. He definitely with the pace of play, looking
That's
more like
true.
Bryson there. Just walk up and hit it,
true.
man. Just tee off. Get on with it. But yeah, please don't ruin it for all the rest of us by actually being able to have fans here. Like, this one was just funny in a weird way, but also like just let these guys go about their business. Like they are there to work. You don't need to be like interjecting yourself on the field or court or whatever.
Like, there's a part of me that gets why nobody approached the guy, because like you don't know what that fan's gonna do. You don't know if he's got something in his pockets. Like you just don't know. So like
he's got a weapon now. He's got a golf club.
That's true. He's got a golf club now. So yeah, like just weird. Like I said, fortunately, it was just kind of like nothing happened, and the guy was politely talked to return the club and exit the course. But yeah, just weird thing to see. Kind of when you wake up in the morning and you head out to work and you're like, oh, okay, this just happened. All right.
I couldn't even. I was like, that's the only reason why I would side with at all Rory's caddy or Rory is like you don't expect that to even happen, so you're just kind of like, oh, word? Like,
word?
Wait,
yeah.
Who's
Exactly.
that guy? That's not Patrick Cantlay. Get that guy.
John, is this your new caddy? Like, what's going on?
And yes, I do agree. Save it for the waste management. Go crazy out there. It's part of
yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you want to be a weird, crazy fan, that's the time to do it.
But on less weird and brighter news, always a nice time when you have a pay-per-view in the UFC trilogy fight. Say what you want about Conor. Yeah, a lot of us know about his antics, and you know how we feel about it. But they're running it back for the third time, the rubber match, if you will. So we do have to check in with the fight doctor to take us through what will be tomorrow night UFC 264.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is the main event of the evening.
the heavy
Always gets me ready for fight night.
So before we get in, I actually do believe that the Fight Phlebotomist just did say that he would be here on the audio form to discuss the pay-per-view. So if we do want to bring him on, not visually but auditorily.
Yes, and due to the nature of this event, certainly the betting community is interested. So this one will be brought to you by Arkansas Slim's Legitimate Sportsbook. On the hotline, we do have No ID Justin joining us.
Oh man, that's a good sponsor to bring me on with. I'm a little frightened, but I'll take it.
Well, of course, entertainment purposes only, but we are fans of the wagering on this program. So, Fight Phlebotomist, thank you for joining us. Fight Doctor, I will let you tee this up in whichever order you would like to go through this.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and let's start with the main event here and just kind of work our way down. So, of course, the headline of this is the, as Ron said, the trilogy fight between Dustin Poirier and notorious Conor McGregor here. Of course, these two just had their second fight in January, where Poirier gave McGregor the first TKO loss of his career. Kind of interesting, and I know, Justin, you were texting us a little bit about it earlier this week about how, it came out that Poirier turned down a title fight because this was going to make him so much more money, which, add that to the ongoing list of, Dana, pay your fighters more. But really interested in this one, again, just to kind of see, obviously the mystique of Conor is gone. He lost, he lost by decision or he lost by submission before, but we never seen him knocked out. Poirier came out in that first fight and just had the perfect strategy of kick the shit out of Conor's leg, weather that early storm, and then kind of just pick your spots. He executed that perfectly. I don't know what you think about this, but I don't think it will play out exactly the same. I do think it will play out with Poirier winning. I kind of see it going to a later round. I kind of see maybe I don't know if Conor's learned how to defend kicks. I would imagine going into this fight, that's probably like 90% of what I would have practiced if I were him.
A point of emphasis for sure, yes.
But I kind of see this one maybe going a little bit to the later rounds. Conor's always had an issue kind of with going into longer fights. Poirier's proven he can do that before. I could see this. I don't think it'll go the distance, but I think Poirier wins in probably the fourth or fifth round.
So I'm glad that you're picking Poirier because we can differ right off the bat.
Yeah.
Up until a couple days ago, I was leaning Poirier right there with you until I heard the tidbit of news that Conor McGregor does not have any of his family, no children, no wife. He has been locked the F in. So this is my last straw to grab on in the hopes that he's maintained some of that edge that he had early in his career, some of that hunger. And, I'm going to lean McGregor in this one. I think he gets the job done. I think he corrects a lot of the mistakes defensively from the second fight. And, I think he's more motivated. And you've heard, I'm sure you've read a lot. Sorry, guys, I'm fighting the background noise here. I'm sure you've heard a lot of the talk leading up to about, this is a make-or-break fight for Conor. This could spell the end of Conor's career. Again, Dustin Poirier passed up a title fight to fight Conor McGregor to make 3 times the money. I don't care what happens. I don't care if he loses. It's not the end of Conor McGregor. He's still a draw. He's still going to make lots of money. So, I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, no, he's not going to just immediately stop being a draw, whatever happens tomorrow night. But, I kind of agree with Tyler, though, just the fact that there's so much more money for Poirier to do this as opposed to actually having a title shot. That just as a premise, that's ridiculous. But we'll see what happens. I think it, again, technically or literally speaking, the series is even. So, and I don't see just a straight repeat of either of the first 2 fights. So, hopefully just don't get your leg kicked off again, Conor, because it does make it a lot harder to throw those punches when you only have one leg.
Let's not bury the lead. Reportedly, Dana has announced that Donald Trump will be in the building for the fight.
Oh, well, there we go. Big breaking news there.
Hey, big fight night. Brings out all the celebs.
Potential next opponent for one of the Paul brothers? Maybe.
He's got free time.
That's
And
true.
they will
That's
fight
true.
any weird stunt fight they can get their hands on.
But no, I am glad you brought that point up, Justin, about kind of Connor getting past the distractions that he's kind of allowed himself to fall into. It's definitely the Rocky 3 story. He got rich, he got comfortable, and then he got knocked the fuck out. And now, let's see if he does go back to that grassroots, just kind of like, just me, my training staff, and that's it. I'm not staying on a yacht for this fight. Like I'm just focused on this in my dirty, dingy gym.
I mean, he got rich. He bought the Thank You Uncle Paulie robot, and next thing you
Exactly.
know, he's pulling wagons out of the snow and training in the hills of Russia. So that's what we're hoping for.
I'm pretty sure he's staying out of the hills of Russia. He doesn't want to run into Khabib out there.
No.
Yeah, much rather run into a bear that is probably fleeing from a recent fight with Khabib.
For sure.
That guy's crazy, man. Get out of here. What are you doing?
But obviously this is all being sold on this fight. This is kind of the one fight that everybody cares about. But really, it's actually a pretty good card up and down. We got a co-main event here of Gilbert Burns and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the welterweight division. Burns, had a 6-fight win streak going, and then he got knocked out by Kamaru Usman. No shame in that because everybody's getting knocked out by him. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson kind of went through a pretty rough skid a few years ago, lost 3 out of 4 fights, but his last 2 fights, he's had some pretty one-sided decisions over Vicente Luque and Jeff Neal. This is a really interesting one because this is kind of like, okay, the winner of this one is kind of right there in line for another welterweight title fight. This one I've kind of gone back and forth a bit. Gilbert Burns is kind of a more known for grappling, but has also kind of developed a bit of knockout power recently. Wonderboy known for his kickboxing and kind of karate style. I think I like Gilbert Burns in this one. I wouldn't be shocked if Thompson won because he's very good at that kind of, kick you and then get out. Like he doesn't really let you get near him. And Gilbert Burns is going to want to close that distance, either get the takedown or work some dirty boxing inside. I think I could see Burns catching Thompson, dropping him, getting the win.
All right, Fight Doctor's taking the underdog. Phlebotomist, where are you at?
We're lockstep on this one. I'm predicting a very boring fight. Gilbert Burns is going to take him down and lay on him, and that'll be the fight.
Definitely could see that playing out that way. But again, and please, I know we say it a lot, but you must believe. Must believe. Entertainment purposes only.
All right, next fight. Here we go. We have in the heavyweight division, Tai Tuivasa taking on America's sweetheart, Greg Hardy.
Everyone's favorite.
Everybody's favorite. Tuivasa, he's a guy that had a 3-fight losing streak going, but then bounced back with a couple first-round knockouts of Stefan Struve and Harry Hunsucker. Love that last name. Hardy just had a little 2-fight win streak going, and then it got snapped with a TKO loss against Marcin Tybura. One thing I really like about Tuivasa in this one is this dude has 11 wins in his career, 10 of them by knockout, all 10 of them in the first round. And Greg Hardy has kind of shown that I will give the man credit. He absolutely takes his training seriously. He has improved leaps and bounds better than I ever thought he would. He still has no gas tank. If you get to like a round and a half of this guy, he's done. So this could be I think this could be an early fight because Tuivasa, as I said, 10 first-round knockouts. Hardy, again, proven to not have a gas tank. I think Tuivasa is going to absolutely hurt Greg Hardy in this fight. Knock him out first round.
Bombs will be thrown.
Again, we are on the same path on that one. Again, I'm super glad we disagreed on the main event.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Look at their belly regions. I'm going with the guy that's more relatable.
Yeah, I mean
there you go.
It's a unit.
All right, so we are good on that one. This is kind of the one fight I'm not, if there's any fight on the main card, I'm not overly excited about. It's going to be this one. This is actually a catchweight bout because Irene Aldana missed weight by a few pounds here. She's taking on Yana Kunitskaya. Aldana coming off a very lopsided decision loss to Holly Holm. If there's one positive she has going into this, it's her career trend is kind of like, I'm going to win a couple, then I'll lose one, but then I'll get a nice little win streak going again, lose one. So she just had her loss. So, according to her career streak, she should come back with a win. Yana has back-to-back wins over Julia Stoliarenko, and Caitlin Vieira. I know I just talked about Aldana's career trend. I think I like Yana in this one. She's the better stand-up fighter. On the ground, kind of a wash. Aldana's would be a little bit better, I think, but I think the stand-up Kunitskaya is significantly better. I will take her as one.
I like to follow trends. Give me Aldana, bounce back fight.
There you have it. Well, I mean, again, ladies and gentlemen, these are two medical professionals, so they'll disagree sometimes. Get a second opinion, but for the most part,
Second opinions.
These men are professionals. They're doing what their years and years of medical training.
Yeah,
indicates.
check the medical charts.
There you go.
Following the pattern.
Then we have the in the opener on the main card here, Sugar Sean O'Malley taking on Chris Matinho. I think this was really funny because we were texting a couple days ago going into this
look at
fight.
that! Look at the stat thing. That just says it all right there. Like what?
Well, I mean, that's it. This is Moutinho's. This is his UFC debut. He's a guy that I think I texted you. He's only fought outside of Rhode Island once. He is definitely one of those regional circuit guys. That was actually his last fight in Cage Fury in Philadelphia. Justin, I know you were saying like, man, it's so hard to even find footage on this guy. I was able to watch his two most recent fights for Cage Fury and for Classic Entertainment Sports. Look, he won both those fights, but there's a reason why this guy's been a regional fighter. Like it's just kind of a lot of things I was seeing with his techniques. It's like he fits right into getting knocked out by O'Malley. He's he'll throw his punches, he'll go for it, but there's like no head movement, there's no protecting the chin. Once he throws a punch, he's completely exposed. If I think I texted you guys earlier, if O'Malley doesn't win this one quickly by a knockout, then he probably might want to reconsider his career path. I mean, yeah. O'Malley's absolutely going to win this one.
Yeah, I know O'Malley likes to tout that he's still undefeated, 13-0. You lose to this guy, you're 13-13, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is a soup can for sure.
When's the last time you seen a guy for those of you that don't understand the whole entertainment purposes only? So that minus 800 next to Sean O'Malley's name, just to put that in perspective, that means you would have to bet $800 on Sean O'Malley in order to win $100. Let that sink in.
Yeah, it's definitely this is definitely a lopsided get it. If O'Malley loses this one, he's just as great an entertainer and self-promoter as he is. Like if he loses this one, there's no coming back from it. This isn't Conor losing to Poirier or Conor losing to Khabib. Like Conor can build himself back from that. There's no building yourself back if you lose to Chris Matinho here. One thing I did find really funny when I was kind of doing some research on Matinho and the regional promotion he fights for, the CES up there in Rhode Island. Most famously, their big push that the guy they've been pushing most recently, John Gotti III.
Oh, okay, all right, sold. I gotta start watching this thing.
Which he was 5-0 until his last fight, and then he got beat, so he is now 5-1.
Oh, that's a shame.
I urge everyone to stick around after this fight ends too. There's going to be a secondary fight afterwards. These guys' colorful ass hair is going to go 1v1 in the ring afterwards.
Who wore it best? Yes.
Yeah, Sugar Sean definitely going with the rainbow hair. Matinho in the two fights I saw, he has bright blue hair. He usually wears like these really weird like blue, purple, and pink trunks that look kind of like we're actually going to be referencing for the second time in two shows the backdrop of the photos you took in in elementary school. That's what his trunks usually look like.
All
But I
all
don't
I
think.
heard was this guy is poor man's Dan Hardy.
Oh, ouch,
Hey,
ouch.
if Dana adds in a hair of the night bonus, though, he's still got a shot at that. So
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah,
see what
I
they're
mean,
looking like on fight night.
Let's hold off on that because this guy's hair might be forcefully removed from the top of his head after he catches a couple Sugar Sean.
It looks better on TV. Sweaty hair snapping back as you eat a punch right in the mouth.
So actually, here's another question that just popped in my mind here. You know, we remember last fight that when O'Malley fought who was it? Thomas Almeida, and he finally got his walk-off knockout after the third try. So over under 1.5 attempts at a walk-off for O'Malley in this fight.
So, just little insight here. I mean, I can explain that.
Yes,
Sean O'Malley does his own merchandising, ladies and gentlemen. And before that fight, Sean O'Malley had some shirts made. These shirts read, "Another right hand from Sugarland." Hence why when he bashed the dude with his left hand, he had to let him get back up and wait to finish with the right hand. Otherwise, you're losing out on a ton of merch sales,
Sure.
That's killing the merch table.
Oh, totally understandable from O'Malley's perspective. But I mean, like this fight's going to be pretty ugly. I just from the two fights I saw,
Start
again,
the night off right, baby.
This could be Moutinho's one and only appearance of the UFC, unless he pulls off just the absolute upset. Like I said, he's a guy that will do really well in the small regional promotions, but there's a reason why he's still there and not in the UFC.
And I think there's only one reason why he's in the first fight of this main card, and that is probably to start with a knockout.
to add to O'Malley's highlight reel.
Mm.
But so that's the main card. But I would even say, man, check in on the prelims. Like again, this is a pretty good card, top to bottom. The prelims will be on ESPN. It'll feature Carlos Condit, which he's not the killer that he was years ago, but I think he's still a fairly entertaining fighter. Nico Price and Michael Pereira. Nico Price, a guy that's pretty much incapable of a boring fight. I think that's going to be an awesome one. Another one of Khabib's boys out of Dagestan will be there. Omari Akhmedov, he'll be fighting pretty early on. So a lot of interesting fights to look at, a lot of good fighters to watch. I'm really excited for this card.
And I just have one last bit of Fight Doctor UFC news. And that is, and I'm glad we saw the phlebotomist here, becoming available as an unlockable character in the UFC 4 video game. Now, Action Bronson is available, which I did see. He's like reposting people's videos of like him knocking out Usman or like all kinds of stuff. Just shame. Like as you could see here, like unlock me now, win every belt possible.
Yeah, and those that aren't Action Bronson fans, like I know the three of us tend to be, this man was once a very rotund individual. He has lost a tremendous amount of weight and has gotten in great shape, and that's still his character model. So have fun, guys.
But he lost a ton of weight. He's still probably a heavyweight by the MMA weight standards. But he definitely
100%.
would have been over. He absolutely would have been over that 265 limit before he dropped all that weight during COVID.
And
so,
again,
massive shout out to him.
If you ever listen to the guy, just from his lyrics, he's clearly a knowledgeable and passionate sports fan. So this was probably a really awesome, experience for him. So I'm glad, man. Kudos, and maybe it shines some light on a very talented musician that I don't think a lot of people really know about. Yes, does he sound tremendously similar to Ghostface Killah? 100%. But as a fan of
almost
both, they're not the
exactly
same.
sounds like
They're
him.
not the same.
But I like both of them. Hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. The only thing I was surprised about, because they're very faithfully recreated the tattoos here. Does he really not have any back tattoos? Because I was surprised if that is the case. He has a back of the head tattoo. I'm surprised he has no tattoos on his back.
Yeah, I can't confirm nor deny that.
Nor can I, but
like maybe he had a bunch of tattoos and then he lost all the weight and now they're all hidden.
Actually, he has a giant mural there, but you can only see it under UV light.
Yeah, black light only.
Yeah.
But 3 really big events this weekend. And of course the NBA Finals. But we're just looking for a little bit more intrigue there. If the Bucks could win a game, would make that a little bit more exciting. So we'll see what happens with that. But all in all, as far as like the weird, like fun news that we usually like to delve into, slow on that regard, but a pretty packed out sports weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. I know with the traveling and stuff tomorrow, it's going to be tough to see some of this stuff. But as far as the Copa America final, and then I'll probably just have to, there are ways, view on my phone some of this UFC 264. But looking forward to a pretty good weekend of sports.
Hey, me and Dana White want to know who's streaming tonight.
I almost turned my camera on to do that, so thank you for pulling that.
Who's streaming tonight?
Just folks, there absolutely are always ways. But yeah, definitely look forward to a good sports weekend. I think that's pretty much all we got here. Fight Phlebotomist, know you're a little bit under the weather. Thank you very much for jumping on. Always love talking any sport, especially MMA, with you.
Oh, feelings mutual. Feelings mutual.
I feel you.
I believe that is all we have. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back here on Monday, recapping hopefully a very good weekend in sports. But we love you guys. You know the drill. Keep the fire.
Come back for the heat maps.